That was July 1st, right? Yeah, July 1st, we filed our initial 1983. Within 24 hours, that got accepted in court. We got a magistrate judge assigned to us. And then on Saturday, surprisingly Saturday, on the 5th, our TRO got turned down. And then today is Monday the 7th, where we spent the whole weekend combing through all of our documents, redoing the whole 1983 complaint. It was small, it was weak. We didn't really know exactly what we were doing. Yeah, we overloaded ChatGPT with our story and information, and so the documents so I could have been better organized on this. I got some ideas for other people just starting out that you can do this so much better than I did it, and you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing. But we haven't sent out the summons yet, so as per that rule, we have one ask to modify the 42 USC 1983, and we don't have to ask any of the defendants or respondents for permission to modify this because we have not sent out summons. So today, we just got done with the bank. We just notarized a few more affidavits. We're driving to Salt Lake right now. We're on our way to Salt Lake. We'll be there in like 20-ish minutes or so. It's a little bit of a drive to Salt Lake. And when we get there, we'll file everything in federal court. Then we gotta we have 8 defendants, so we gotta make 8 copies of we're gonna go to the library and make 8 copies of our 1983 filing, because you need to send out the summons, and with the summons you send out the 1983 because they need to know what they're being sued for. So we got our full summons, or we got our summons with our full 1983 of how many 72-ish complaints, or 72 factual things. It's 20 pages long now. It went from like 3 or 4 pages to 20. So we got it bigger. We got a secondary, we're coming in with a secondary exhibit list today. So we're submitting more exhibits. We're submitting, I'll take a picture of all of this before I submit it and send it and put it in the, all this will go live on Wednesday, because so today what we're doing is we're filing in federal court. Then we're going to send out the summons, notify our juvenile lawyers that we're going pro se, but we're keeping them on board for counseling. We're not firing them, but we're going to have them sidestep. So we're going to keep them on. They've done wonderful work. We don't hate the work that they've done. They've paved the way for this because they're the ones who presented this enough of our evidence in front of the judge for the judge to ignore, for us to be able to file this 1983. So we don't hate what they've done. So we're going to keep them on board. We're just going to have them sidestep a little bit. And then we're also, the biggest thing we're doing today is filing like 10 or more motions in juvenile court to vacate, reverse everything the current judge has done, because everything she has done from day one, everything DCFS done, took our civil rights. We, along with only in these 2, the guardian ad litem general, with their summons, we do have to mail them out our motion to recuse them. We're not asking for recusal of the judge, just the AG and the GAL that she's working with. And also I'll make a video expounding upon this later, because one of the reasons why this is an ask for us is because, so when you file your 1983, it's a civil. You don't get WITSEC, you don't get U.S. Marshal backups, you can't go pick up your kids right away. They only do it for criminal cases. Now, if your case turns criminal, which we have criminal collusion, we're filing today in federal courts also for criminal collusion between DCF and the police, possibly the guardian ad litem. So that will bring a criminal aspect and get our kids in WITSEC. But you have to turn it to, you really have to file for kidnapping, trafficking, or criminal collusion to get that criminal status to go get your kids back. And so we still don't get our kids back today. We're going about 3 or 4 different avenues to get them back. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll know we'll either have them back or we'll know how we're getting them back. And so I'm not going to openly stream about this on YouTube and TikTok till Wednesday for the summons to hit before I come out in the open about it and start speaking about it, because I don't want any of our family members, the rare family members that do watch my streams, notifying the people that have our children, because I am not speaking also about who has our children and letting anybody kind of in on that. We're protecting the children, and so we're not gonna talk about it for 2 more days. So, but anyways, I do want to make a video on the criminal aspect only. If you want to try and do what Gunner's doing to get your children back immediately, you have to turn it criminal. And so that means you either have to find like RICO, criminal conspiracy like we did, or some criminal aspect, and you have to file your 1983, and you have to ask the courts to investigate. Because only a prosecutor can put criminal charges on DCFS in the state. You cannot. You can only do civil. But you have to ask the courts, hey, I dropped off all this evidence. Can you look through it? It's actually kind of criminal. And if your criminal charges, you get WITSEC. So, I'll stream as our day goes on. This is just the beginning of our day. Like I said, we're done with the bank. We're halfway to Salt Lake. We're finally by Salt Air. There's the Great Salt Lake if you guys want to see it. I'm not showing you, Dawn. Like, I'm showing the Great Salt Lake. Beautiful Great Salt Lake out there. So, beautiful mountains, Great Salt Lake. It's a little scenic on the way out. But, hopefully our story helps other people. And there's other people that, in our own little town, that we're hoping we help too, because we hated hearing the small things that lost them their children too. The small things that violated their constitutional rights that they should have got services for instead of their kids ripped away. And so we'll talk more about that later, after Wednesday, after I can start being more open about this. All right, we'll see you guys later.